The Obama administration, hoping to avoid more scenes like this one, today announced the military is preparing a 30-person team of nurses, doctors, and infectious disease experts who could be dispatched on short notice in the U.S. But Republicans and some Democrats continue to insist the president hasn't done enough and should impose a ban on travel from the affected countries.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's part one of Kristen Welker's report on NBC. And this whole segment is about the media. The media kind of taking Republicans to task for inciting panic and defending the president. Here's the next one.
The biggest mistake that continues to be made is we continue to allow open commercial air flights.
The Obama administration counters a travel ban would only make matters worse.
The fact is, it would be very, very difficult if you lost control of easily tracking people.
With public fear spreading faster than the disease itself, some Republican candidates eyeing wins in the upcoming midterm elections are stoking public fears.
Oh, they're stoking public fears, those Republicans, eh? That's a reporter. That's not a commentator sitting on Meet the Press panel or sitting with Andrea Mitchell or sitting with Joe Scarborough. That is a reporter. And she says some of them are stoking public fears. Really? Republicans. Nice little dig in there for the against the Republicans. All right, let's move on because here's George Stephanopoulos defending Obama's pick for Ebola czar.
But George, let me bring you in here. There was a late-night meeting at the White House last night. The president has now convened his top officials to start talking about this crisis. He also appointed an Ebola czar. He's under fire, however, from some Republicans in Congress for the man he appointed, Ron Klain, who's got a political background and not a medical one. Do the Republicans have a point here?
Well, I think the White House knew that they were going to get this criticism. You know, you've got a lot of medical experts working on Ebola right now, but to the extent there's a crisis in the United States, which I don't think there is, there's a communications crisis and a management crisis inside the government. Ron Klain is an expert in communications. He's an expert in management. That's what the government needs right now.
Yeah, what the government needs is Ron Klain. Right, he's the best guy. There's no one better. Yeah, he's an expert in communications and management, not like a guy like Ray Kelly or a guy like Colin Powell or somebody who's led and managed and, and has a national profile, could bring some confidence. This guy's not even going to the first big CDC event. Leave it to Stephanopoulos to defend the indefensible. Okay, and then there was more. Watch this MSNBC ad. This is an ad.
We have a tough election coming up this fall. You can see it in the polling numbers. The one lesson we learn again and again is that it matters who is elected, whether it's in a small suburb in Missouri or in the American presidency. If you have not registered to vote, do it. If you've not made definite plans to get to the polls, get on your horse, get it planned, get yourself organized, or else don't complain about the direction of this country. Nobody's vote is more important than yours. Unless you don't show up, then everybody's vote is more important than yours.
All right, now, wow. Did you see what they're talking about here? Did you watch the video? I mean, why don't you just get an ad, do a DNC ad, Chris? Well, it's not surprising. It's MSNBC. One more, Andrea Mitchell. Andrea Mitchell, watch and listen.
It's a bad week for Democrats. The White House has been under fire. At the same time, Neil Newhouse, our Republican former partner in polling, has said that it's the get out the vote effort and that Democrats do a whole lot better at getting out the vote. And it's going to come down to a ground game. I think that Texas Supreme Court decision on Saturday morning is going to be really telling. If there are more voter restrictions placed in some of those states, it's going to be really hard for Democrats.
Really hard for Democrats. Yeah. Well, she doesn't like the fact that the Supreme Court upheld the Texas voter ID law. And that's going to really make it tough on Democrats because, as you know, most Democrats, and I guess she's talking about minorities, most minorities, they don't have photo IDs. They just have nowhere to get them. This is targeted to African Americans who have no pictures of themselves. They don't have bank accounts. They don't go to the doctor. They never need a photo ID. It's racist. There's the media for you on the Steve Malzberg Show.